You asked, and we are here to answer you. Who owns Qwetu? Who owns Qejani? This is a question that we get time and again. And today I'm joined by Elvis Onchwari, the growth manager at Vuka, who is going to demystify all of these questions. How are you, Elvis?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So this question comes time and time again in our DMs, in our webinars. Who really owns Qwetu and Qejani?
So this is a good question because I think I've also seen it a number of times on our social media pages, on emails and on calls. Now, Qwetu and Qejani are simply student housing brands that are developed and owned and managed by the Acorn REITs. Now, to understand the ownership structure of Qwetu and Qejani, it's key that we understand what exactly is a real estate investment trust and what exactly are the Acorn student accommodation REITs. Now, a real estate investment trust is simply an investment vehicle that pulls funds from different investors and utilizes these funds to either invest and own income generating assets or invests funds in developing assets that it aims to sell for profit at a later stage. So in this case, we have two REITs. We have what we call the Acorn Student Accommodation Development Real Estate Investment Trust, and we have the Acorn Student Accommodation Income Real Estate Investment Trust. These REITs, the development REIT in this case, develops the student hostels we see. The Acorn Student Accommodation Income REIT raises money from investors and acquires income generating assets. So once they've been developed and the D-REIT puts them up for sale, the income REIT acquires these assets, and the income REIT in this case would own the asset in trust on behalf of investors. So investors in this case will now simply own a stake or purchase units in the Acorn REIT itself. So going back to answering your question on who owns the Qwetu and Qejani student hostels, they're simply owned by the Acorn REITs. Then you as an investor are able to buy a share in these REITs. And if you look at that ownership structure, it simply means that the person who owns this is individual investors. It's institutional investors, corporate investors. So Vuka itself gives you a chance to own a share of these properties by virtue of us raising money and investing in the REITs on behalf of our investors.
So you are saying, as an individual, as Stephanie, I can be a part shareholder of Qwetu and Qejani hostels.
Exactly, that's what we're saying. And people, over 12,000 investors, individual investors, are owning these shares in these assets today. And this is alongside other institutional investors as well.
Okay, you've mentioned Vuka. And you've said Vuka enables the investors, me as an investor, to now invest in Qwetu and Qejani. What is Vuka? Can you get deeper on what Vuka is?
So Vuka, the genesis of Vuka, first of all, Vuka means crossover. And we launched Vuka in the year 2021. And we launched it from the key learnings we were able to get from the COVID-19 period, whereby one of the key learnings we saw is that a lot of Kenyans were asset rich and cash poor. A lot of Kenyans were investing. Until to date, it's how we learned how to invest in real estate. We're investing in real estate in a speculative manner, whereby you simply go and invest in real estate with the hope that in the future, the price will increase and you'll be able to sell it. Then when a crisis comes, even in normal market performances, you realize you locked cash in an asset and you are unable to liquidate. And we understand that people venture in real estate to store value, to diversify. So we launched Vuka to address this problem. And Vuka is simply Kenya's first regulated and tech-enabled real estate investment platform that enables individual investors such as you and myself to invest in real estate. And how we do this is that we launched Vuka as a regulated platform. Investors are able to purchase units of the Acorn I-REIT or Acorn D-REIT through Vuka. So in simpler terms, Vuka just enables you to invest in the Acorn I-REITs, and the Acorn I-REIT or Acorn D-REIT as simply the vehicle that houses the Qwetu and Qejani hostel. So it was to make it easier for someone to understand. Vuka simply enables you to invest in regulated income generating real estate in the form of shareholding.
So when you say this, you mean I can just access the Vuka platform? You've mentioned it's a platform, and I can buy my shares. In case I need to liquidate my shares, I can equally liquidate my shares.
Yes, what exactly what we are saying is that Vuka is a tech-enabled platform. So we have a digital platform, currently a web portal. In the near future, we're looking at launching a mobile application as well to make it easier for people to access real estate. I think a key perk of Vuka is that you can invest in a portfolio worth over 10 billion Kenya shillings from as little as 5,000 bob. Since when did you access real estate located in prime areas at 5,000 Kenya shillings?
Yeah.
And because your investment is in the form of shareholding, in the form of units, it means it's a lot easier to liquidate as compared to holding a traditional asset in one title deed, right? So because investors are able to trade amongst each other, we're able to provide liquidity back to our investors. Since 2021, any investor who's coming into Vuka has also been able to liquidate. However, we do encourage people to look at this investment as a long-term investment because it's still real estate. But most importantly, Vuka enables you to diversify your portfolio. If you're looking for a place to store the value of your money, if you're looking to invest in tangible assets, because in this case, we invest in the Qwetu REIT through Vuka, you're investing in tangible assets, such assets as the property we're in today.
Okay, fantastic. Now, you've mentioned about traditional real estate and what we know, especially as with our parents, and niko na shamba hapa, niko na shamba pale. But sometimes we've had issues of title deeds, regulations. We don't know, is it safe, is it secure? You've mentioned regulation in terms of Vuka. Who has regulated Vuka? Is Vuka regulated?
So Vuka is a product of Qwetu Investment Management Limited, which is a licensed REIT manager in Kenya. Vuka itself is also regulated and authorized to operate by the Capital Markets Authority. And if you look back at the history of Vuka, which we also did an investor briefing just early this year, which we'll also share the link in this video, whereby we showed our investors how Vuka came into being. Even when we launched Vuka in 2021, we entered into what we call a CMA sandbox. And this is a space where the regulator gives you time to test your product and see if your product will have an uptake in the market and whether it actually solves an actual problem. So history of Vuka, despite being regulated and operating within the license of a licensed REIT manager being Qwetu Investment Management, we were also able to enter into a semi-regulatory sandbox, which we stayed there in 2021. In 2022, we got an exit letter and were able to exit the semi sandbox and roll out Vuka to a larger market. We also have a custodian, which is NCBA Bank. I think I like to investors, even as you invest in Vuka, you will notice the funds are held within NCBA Bank because that's the custodian entity. But in this case, all the funds that are invested through Vuka are literally invested in the Qwetu REITs, which are also regulated entities.
So what does regulation mean for an investor?
Well, regulation for an investor means, in this case, that in our case, not only do we have to operate the assets in a fiduciary duty where we put the interest of the investor first, it also means we have to look at our reporting. Well, our reporting is very, very similar to a publicly traded company. It means we have to have independent auditors auditing our books. We have to have independent valuers evaluating our assets as well. We have to publish financial results. In this case, we publish our financial results on an interim basis and also a full year basis. So if you go to our website, you'll always find the Qwetu REITs have declared what the financial results are in the interim and what are the full year results. So it simply means we operate in an environment where we believe in being transparent and we believe in providing information to investors so that they're able to make wise decisions. But beyond that, we operate in a fiduciary duty, which simply means we put the interest of the investor first.
Awesome. At least now we have a clear understanding of Vuka. We know it's regulated. Now, looking through your website, and you recently actually had a webinar, which we can also link, where we described and we demystified a key product that you rolled out this year. Tell us about the Vuka offerings. Which products are available and what are these products? Who are they for? Again, who's eligible for these products?
Okay, so I'll start with eligibility. So Vuka is for any investor looking to diversify their investments. If you're looking for real estate exposure, in our case, Vuka is ideally for you, right? We like to say that if you look at your financial assets, if you look at your portfolio and you get into a point where you diversify, you also need to diversify not just at product name level, but you need to look at your diversification at asset base level. So you look at if I've invested in product X or product X, what assets am I actually exposed to? So that is who Vuka is ideally for. We encourage you to diversify and maybe put a minimum investment of 50,000 per annum. However, you can invest at your own pace. Now, going back to the products we have. So we have two products. Our first initial offering was Vuka Imara. And Vuka Imara is simply a low-risk investment portfolio designed for investors who are looking for stable income and capital appreciation as well, and protection. And this is because all investments in Vuka, by investing in Vuka Imara, it simply means you're investing in the Acorn Student Accommodation Income REIT. Now, this is an income REIT, the REIT that was established for the sole purpose of acquiring stabilized income-generating assets. So by default, you're investing in an asset that is generating income on an annual basis. And by regulation, the Acorn income rate or other income REITs are regulated and mandated to pay at least 80% of the distributable income back to an investor. So when you invest in Vuka Imara, you are subscribing to invest in a passive income of real estate opportunity. And Vuka Imara pays out a return back to investors twice a year, and it's a double benefit return whereby you get capital appreciation. So as the assets are reevaluated and the assets in the portfolio are reevaluated and the asset value increases, that is also passed to you as an investor. So for example, when we first launched Vuka Imara, the share price or trading price was 20 shillings. Today the trading price is 23.24 shillings. So that's around a 16% capital appreciation to you as an investor. So if you think about it long term, not only does it give you principal protection, but it also preserves your capital. It acts as store value and gives you capital appreciation as well. On the other side, you also earn passive income because the REITs distribute rental income back to investors in the form of dividends over the past years. It has distributed this returns on a semi-annual basis. So every 6 months, returns have been distributed to an investor. So Vuka Imara gives that double benefit return, protects your capital and gives you steady income. Now, recently we did launch a new product offering, which we are calling Vuka Prime. Now, Vuka Prime is a blended offering whereby when you invest in Vuka Prime, you're simply investing 70% to the I rate and 30% in the D rate. So this is more of a low to medium risk option because you're investing part of the funds in the D rate, and development rate is a value generator. Then we are also balancing that risk by investing 70% of the funds in the income rate. So Vuka Prime is ideal for an investor who's looking for long-term capital appreciation and stable growth. The key thing is that when you invest in Vuka Prime, you need to have an horizon of 5 years and above. And these two products are offered to our investors. The eligibility criteria to invest in Vuka Prime is a minimum investment of 200,000 in Vuka Imara. So once you get 200,000 in Vuka Imara, you can invest up to 300,000 in Vuka Prime. So we've launched it in a tiered manner, of which we've also provided information on our website for investors who are interested in this offering to subscribe to. Our team is also always available just to assist investors to understand this. But it's key to mention that it is not mandatory that you invest in Vuka Prime. You can still invest in your Vuka Imara and continue investing in that product. The only key difference is that Vuka Imara is low risk because it invests in the income rate. Vuka Prime is a low to medium risk offering, but we also aim to pay returns back to an investor in a period of basically every 6 months as well. In Vuka Prime, we target to deliver a total return of 12% per annum, while in Vuka Prime, we're targeting to deliver a return of 7% plus per annum.
Vuka Imara.
In Vuka Imara, yes.
Okay.
In simpler terms, our objective is to simply consistently outperform the traditional real estate investment methods of buying and holding or buy and renting. That is what we're aiming to do, while being very realistic with the target returns we're aiming to offer. As you've seen, real estate tends, because it operates in an unregulated manner, you tend to find people promising you returns that may not be achievable from real estate assets. Hence why I say at the end of the day, it's very important to focus on diversifying your investments.
Awesome, fantastic. And I feel like you have touched on the benefits we should expect when investing through Vuka. So maybe you can just you've mentioned something to do with consistent passive income. So what are the benefits of investing in REITs through Vuka?
So I think I will mention three benefits.
Okay.
Right? So other than diversification, there's the aspect of security, because you are investing in tangible assets that are actually on ground, assets that you can pop in and actually visit at any time. So based on that, it gives you security, right? Because it's an asset-backed investment. Your principal investment is backed by actual assets on ground. It's not backed by paper value or market sentiment, etc. It's simply backed by tangible assets. Another key benefit that I always prefer to bring out is the fact that REITs operate in a very tax-efficient manner. So you as an investor, if you're holding units of REITs, if you look at the tax structure, one, your capital gains are not subject to any taxes, right? So if you purchase units, let's say at 20 shillings or 21.65 shillings, today it's at 23.24 shillings. If you have to choose to sell your units, you're not subject to pay any tax on it as well. If you look at the dividend income, what you earn is only taxed with a withholding tax of 5%. And this tax is charged at source. So you as an investor receive a net dividend income, and this income again is not subject to any further taxes. Hence why I say this real estate investment structure, not only does it give you passive income, but it's a very tax efficient investment, especially when you even compare it with traditional real estate where you pay corporate taxes, stamp duties, legal fees, etc. And just to add on to this tax efficient structure, Vuka itself as a platform also does not charge an investor any fees. We don't charge any joining fees, we don't charge any transaction fees, we don't currently charge any annual fees. So this means you as an investor get to keep the return to yourself. So looking at those two key parts of investing in Vuka, and always look the last one being the passive income opportunity, whereby we're giving you a chance to invest in real estate and get passive income. And beyond that, going back to the themes as to how you look at investing in real estate. As I mentioned earlier, you can either invest in real estate speculatively, where you're hoping to gain the future value of an asset appreciating, or you can invest in it opportunistically, where you just see an opportunity, a one-off opportunity, put money in and aim to make a killing, or you can invest in real estate in a thematic manner, where you look at the future microeconomic trends of investing in real estate. And this is what Vuka enables you to do. You're investing in a trend, you're investing in student housing, where within Kenya, within Africa, the median age of our population is 19 years. More than 75% of our population is below the age of 35. More youths today are preferring to rent than own. So when you look at the segment we've chosen to focus on, and housing for young people, and we've started with student housing, it is a market or a space that is backed by very strong macroeconomic trends that are here to stay for the long term.
Okay, fantastic. I feel ready to start. What would be my next immediate steps?
Well, if you like to invest in Vuka, I think the first key thing is to simply visit our website. We've provided a lot of information there. You can either choose to speak to an advisor to get more information, or you can simply click on the create your account button, and once you're there, it will just take you around 5 minutes to get an account. As you start your account creation process, all you need is a copy of your ID and your copy of your carrier pin, which you will upload as part of KYC details. And from there, you easily start investing and owning a share of Qwetu and Qejani.
So I can call myself a part shareholder of Qwetu and Qejani?
Exactly. And you can stop assuming it is owned by other people.
Some
you
specific
yourself,
people.
Exactly. You yourself as a Kenyan, as an individual, can get a chance to own real estate that is not only professionally managed, but it's also regulated and income generating.
That's it, guys. You asked, we have clearly answered. You can be a part shareholder of Qwetu and Qejani student residences. To start your journey, just visit our website on www.vuka.co.ke and start with as little as just 5,000 Kenyan shillings. Don't just watch people building wealth through regulated real estate, become part of them.